record. Hey, this is Wednesday, November 11th, with my regular class as we get into things and finding out how not to work on Simpson sheets when Mr. Teacher Man is going through things. Because the last thing you want is to get really far into a Simpson sheet and all of a sudden have Mr. Teacher Man take it away from you. That would be awful. And we have two kids who just showed up, so now I have to make fun of them on video. So hang on one second. They're alive. That's the first step that we're going to get into. It looks like Charles is alive. Tommy, you can't just write the word life. You have to actually prove that you're alive. I mean, not that I'm calling you a liar, but until I actually see the fact that you're a living person, for all I know, you've been kidnapped. Tommy, that's your hand. All right, there you go, Tommy. Now you're alive. Tommy, thank you for your proof of life. Charles and Tommy, now that you're here, if you're not wanting me to torture you, when you show up tomorrow, you are missing work for me from last week. IXL from last week and the quiz from last week. If you don't want me to go, torture tomorrow, just letting you know, have those done by then. Or just let me do that one. You can't control that, Omar, but a good try. All right, that's there. Clicky. Bagel, you have to wait a second, don't die. All right. Then, because it took me longer than 10 seconds to get to it, and I apologize to you. IXL. I am not assigning IXL this week. There is no new IXL for you. That is part of your good news. The bad news that goes along with it is I am assigning homework this week. It is going to be this homework, which is the don't be an idiom one. Those of you who are blue children at home, for you guys, you have not gotten this paper yet. For those of you who are red children and alive, you do have this paper, but for you, it is not going to be something I assign until Friday. So don't go home tonight and then freak out and try to figure out how to do it. And then send me a remind message going, how do I do the homework? Because I'm going to end up making up a random thing just to be mean to you because you can't follow directions. Not assigned until Friday. Also, not due Saturday. It is not due until you see me in person, which means for you guys, it is not due until next Tuesday. And then for the blue kids, it won't be due for you until next Wednesday. So you're going to have a little bit of time before it comes due. And it's not really like an IXL. It might actually have a little bit of fun as we get into it and see stuff from there. Bad news is, if you do well on quiz, you can't get out of the homework. If you do well on quiz, you have to do the idiom thing no matter what. If you do well on quiz, your only reward is knowing that you're smarter than the dumb kids, and that's it. Or you do have a chance of becoming student of the week. That is the thing that does go on to it, so you do have that going for you. But beyond that, it does not get you out of any of the homework. I know, now it's like every other class, which means it's awful, so I apologize. Now, Bagel, what's up? I feel the same way about trying to talk about it in public. So then back to here, I want to go back and do a little bit of rewindy from the stuff yesterday, just to make sure that we're paying attention on there, then get to our new stuff for today. Since I know what is going to be on quiz coming up on Friday, it's just a Cheetos bag. You guys all look excited. Since I know what's on quiz on Friday, I try to go back and do rewindy stuff to try and help you guys remember it. I'm not done. He's taller. So on this one, this is where as long as you remember stuff, we're good to go. It's the not remembering stuff that causes issues. And again, my other classes, they were all good today, and we didn't have to worry about it. Let's dig in and we'll see what happens with you. Got Brooklyn. Apparently staring at me. Jax. Oh, hang on. We'll get there. I haven't even gotten to a question yet. Bagel. Phoebe.
Sure.
So on this one, who was speaker in poem? Good job. And then here's what you're going to have to do on quiz. Find evidence from poem to prove it was turtle instead of crab. So to do quick rewindy bits, what evidence in there proves turtle over crab? Jax.
Arms, legs, whatever. Legs and head. And they have feet in order to my body is a rounded stone, and his back is his root, and his
I'm trying to get all of them. Quick one. That's not right. One, the things coming in and out, I would agree on that one. The rounded shell, does that prove it's not a crab? Why? Say M shape? Oh, just the little M shape you're going for? All right. All right. So on the whole rounded shell, just make sure that that can go both of them. Any leggy army bit thing, that I would definitely agree with. Brooklyn?
My body round stone with pattern of
the smooth seams, I would definitely agree with. The round stone, we go back to that thing. But the smooth seams, yes, that I would say connects more to the turtle than the other one. Baton? So are we all just repeating the things that Jack says? Just trying to steal Jackson's answers? He did. That was the one that he said. Well, he did technically say arms, legs, and then the thing. But I'm assuming the thing, words are hard. And so we're going for the head bit. The teamwork. We got there. Bagel. Hang on. That proves it's not a crab? Yeah. Because crabs don't have a shell?
Whatever. My eyelids are quick cramp.
That one I would agree with.
And where's the house where? Oh, bam. I am always at home. I travel where my house blocks.
The fact that it's homeless, I would agree with that one too. Yeah. Nicely done.
There we go. Redemption.
Phoebe?
It floats within the lake.
That one I would agree with. Did she steal yours, Olivia?
Libby, you'll get over it.
Wow.
Did you just call me Libby?
She did call you Libby. She made it awkward. Brooklyn? Are you repeating the one that Bagel said now?
Hey,
You did.
I traveled to my house.
I know. It's like listening to other kids thing is so overrated. So anyway, well done. The main thing, make sure is with quiz, I'll be asking you to prove which one of these things says turtle instead of crab. That's what I'm pointing out. Make sure you're not proving it's turtle. Prove turtle, not crab. So if you go, it has a shell, that's not proving it's a turtle and not a crab, because a crab should have a shell, even if the shell has an M on it. That's why you sassy.
So it doesn't make it like a turtle.
I'll go with you. I just need to sass you. Oh, Omar, you're a special. I'm sorry. Oh, kids at home. Marcina just probably threw water at herself. She's having so much fun. Oh, haiku. We're going to come to the writing of the haikus in a second. Baby steps. Let's see how much you remember about haiku, because again, for quiz. Sorry, I thought you were throwing gang signs at me, Sophia. I was confused. How many lines in every haiku? 3. How many total syllables?
7.
All right. Syllables in the first line. Second line. Third line. Okay. How many things should a haiku be about?
One thing.
And it should be about nature. What country is it from?
Sorry.
I didn't normally ask the Japanese one, but you guys were all sassing me, so I figured I had to sass you back in some way. So I was trying to think of another question on there. So you guys all came at me. And then we did. Yesterday, Jackson, we learned about haikus. It's when you're playing the video. Oh, wait, that's every single day that you're at home. Don't worry, Jackson. It's not like it's on the quiz or anything, so you're fine. Wait, hang on 1 second. To help Jackson with haiku, let's see. That kid is at home. All he does is play those games, paying attention. Wait, sorry. Let's go with, wait, no. Learning is so hard. There we go. That's probably the one that works a bit more. So, Jackson, that was my haiku I just dedicated to you. That one's for you. All right. Then we got to this with you guys. We still want to read some. All right. So if you are wanting to read haiku to get points, I will give you a chance to read them for haiku for points. Hang on. Can I have, you can't, I don't know what that means, Marcina. Can I have haiku? It's not like a soda. It's a haiku. Hang on. home children are watching video. We're going to time out because kids are going to be on screen and you can't see them because you're not that special. And then we're going to come back after. It's not because they're going to make fun of me and that makes me want to cry. And you're not going to watch a grown man cry. We're going to come back afterwards. So time out. Welcome back. The kids, oh, there were some rip burns. I feel like I'm all like sad on the inside because the haiku were so strong and all they did was attack me. I'm just kidding. I have no emotions whatsoever, but I wanted to make them feel like they were really strong. We probably should do a quick video check just to make sure that kids are alive. I probably should have done this before we start recording. I want to make sure that kids are there. And then just making sure, because it's fun to torture children. And and oh, they're all alive. Good stuff. Wait, no, Aisha. We have one dead Aisha again. Let's go ahead to there. And oh, Aisha's alive now. All right, whew, she made it at the last second. Back to here. Then, now to get to new poem with you. Go to and struggle. Handout, the new handout I gave you, not old handout, but the new one with poems on it, not the new one that has the homework on it. So the one that says 2R in bottom corner. And we have one that says unjust on far side. Oh, hang on. Nobody ever liked you. That's not, hang on. You are very mean. Nobody ever liked you. You are a big jerk. Omar, that was a good haiku. Well done, Omar. Omar, I'll give you a point for that, Omar. All right. Not at the moment. We're moving on. He put his in the chat, so I was being nice. I actually called him up. Here. No, come back. Not just making fun of poor Bagel. There we go. I'm proud of you. You're going to get another chance to attack me tomorrow because we're going to do one more round where the blue kids are here live. And so, yes. And then my goal is to come back and touch on it one more time for you. Before we get to that, I have new poemy thing to get to. This one's called Unjust, which is a really weird poem, which seems fitting for me. This is the poem way back when we were doing stanzas. I made you guys do the counting of the stanzas. And that one time we counted how many times I could take that kid's Simpson sheet, even though she was almost done with it, and I threw it away in front of her and watched her cry. And we all got to laugh at her. If it helps, it wasn't Olivia that we were talking about. It was a different random. The fun thing is, the answer is it could be so many children. Who can choose? And so as we get into it from there. Anyway, back here.
Period. Talking to yourself.
I don't even care about seeing that club. I literally won't be in that club.
We're back. So poem, as we're going to go through and take a look at this one, with it, it is not going to make a whole lot of sense the first time we read through it. I can almost guarantee we're going to finish it and you're going to go, Mr. Brody, that makes no sense whatsoever. Then we're going to read it and you'll go, oh, still makes no sense whatsoever. And as I explain it, it will make sense. Not only will it make sense, it's going to connect to something from your childhood that will hopefully make it more, not you, the door behind you suddenly opened up. That was kind of weird. Sorry, Jack, just happened like right behind you, the door just suddenly started opening by itself. So as we go through it and connect at the very end, it's going to connect to something from your childhood. What's weird is, this poem was written over 100 years ago. It is going to connect to something from your childhood that didn't exist when this poem was written. But when we get done, it is going to make a freakily close connection to something. That's why I like it. Back to poem thing. All right. Seriously. I will read. If you have an idea of what you think it's about, hold on to it and we'll see. There is no speaker in this one that you're trying to figure out. It's just a weird poem. You probably figured it out just by looking at it. There's like, that is a weird poem. Oh, as I read it, figure out these things. When does it take place? Are there any characters you can recognize in it? And possibly, do you have any idea what's happening? But basically, when, characters, maybe what's happening. In just spring, when the world is mud luscious, the little lame balloon man whistles far and wee, and Eddie and Bill come running from marbles and piracies, and it's spring, when the world is puddle wonderful. The queer old balloon man whistles far and wee, and Betty and Isabel come dancing from hopscotch and jump rope, and it's spring, and the goat-footed balloon man whistles far and wee. Mr. Broviak, you're full of lies. That made perfect sense. I'm glad to feel you feel the same way. If you figured out answers, hang on. We'll get to the questions in a second. What's important, as long as you feel that way, as long as you feel it was a good investment of points, then that's what's important. Baby steps. 1, when does poem take place? Where's our evidence? Hey, I asked that, and sometimes the kid's like, it does, and so I'm making sure. So yes, because it says spring. And does it say 3 times?
Yeah, it's 3 times.
Oh, it does. It says it's spring. I see definitely the second time.
I don't see the third.
But it's because it's back. You have to look at the whole poem.
It's spring.
You are correct.
No.
It does, and you have to. It's,
I didn't see that.
I know, so it disappeared. Also, with the spring, we can actually figure out what part of spring it is, as far as beginning, middle, or end, because it uses words puddle wonderful and mud luscious. Is it beginning, middle, or end? Let's find out. I'm not hitting anything this time. I'm just educating. This time I get to use it as an education stick, not a wacky stick. Pretend this is a timeline where we have springtime here. What season comes before spring?
Winter.
See, now when I was asking you how'd you know it was spring, you understand my question. When I'm like, what comes before spring? And you're like, penguin. No, and so winter. So imagine this part here is winter. This part here is spring. You're traveling along and you're like, winter, 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 spring. When you just cross that line, wait, back up. In this part, what's on ground? What happens this point? What happens to the snow when you get to heat? That's when we get to the mud luscious, puddle wonderful. We're in that part of spring where you have literally gone from cold days, to that very first warm 50-degree day, where like all of a sudden it's not freezing out, and you're like, 50 degrees, I'm wearing shorts. And your parents are like, what's wrong with you? You're like, it's summertime. And you go running outside and it's March. They're like, what is wrong with you? That's what the day we're talking about. We're like, you're running outside in shorts. There's still snow out there. Like, I don't care about you because it's warm. That's the day we're in right now. Jack. Our next one's going to be, who is our character? We have poem, Jack.
No, there's more.
We're going to, who is the other ones?
Betty and
It's supposed to be Isabella, but they sort of smash it together into just Isabel. We're going to start with, there's the mud luscious. I forgot reference I made for you guys. We have that whole going from winter into spring thing. With that one, you guys have the mud that's on the ground, that very beginning of spring. Imagine with me for a moment that you're a wee young child and you're all excited because you have that first day. You go outside, snow is melted, mud is everywhere. What do your parents tell you when you go outside?
Don't get mud.
What's the first thing you do?
Get mud.
That's what the poem is talking about. The fact that as soon as you go outside and there's mud out there, and your parents are like, don't get mud, and you go right in the mud, like, great! Because as a child, dreams come true, it brings you happiness. That's the point we're talking about. Balloon Man, the thing you mentioned. You guys know what a balloon man is?
Yeah.
So not SpongeBob, where I have like a little balloon guy that like, I forgot, wrong one. So embarrassing on my part. Not Bubble Boy then, but Balloon Man, Jax. Not bad. So one, the guy who makes balloon animals, or if you ever go to, what's like circuses or a fair, Disney, they have the, or if you're evil clowns that live in sewers, nicely done. So a balloon man is the guy that goes around selling balloons to children. This has like a big pile of balloons. There was a Disney movie that was all about a balloon man who tried to get all upset and then tied balloons to his house. There you go. He was a balloon man in. Good job, Mark. That was Marciana. I know. It's hard to know. From one sound, it's hard to tell also. But he was a balloon man at the very beginning of that story. Here's my balloon man for you. Balloon man.
Oh, geez. I feel so bad for that little girl.
Good job, Marciana. Now, also, it says he is a lame balloon man. I told you this poem goes back 100 years. The definition of lame has changed over time. Now, when you use lame, when you're referring to your parents, what does lame mean?
Oh, boy.
Exactly. Like, hey, I have a fun thing this weekend. Let's look at vacation pictures. And you're like, oh my God, that is the lamest thing ever. That's the current definition. That's not the original definition. You guys know the original definition? Oh, no, not fun or old, although I like where you guys went with that one. Bagel. Close, but no. Now you're just yelling random words down. That helps. If Tommy was lame, he'd be off the basketball team. Because yes, no, but a good guess. Because Tommy's not currently lame, but if he's not careful, he could become lame. Like
having a body part, especially when so disabled, to impair freedom of a movement that.
Some gibberish.
I think Marciana had a stroke. It's okay. Maybe Marciana's lame originally meant broken in some way. So if you were to break a leg, then he wouldn't be able to play basketball anymore. Then now your grandpa's lame. By definition, if you see a kid in the school who's like walking around in like one of those walking boots, you can walk up to him legally and go, "You're lame," because there's nothing they can do. Because by definition, that's what they are. They're like, "You're being mean." You're like, "I didn't break your leg." You can just say, "Hey, my English teacher said I'm allowed to do it because words," and you can just walk away. I think that's legally binding. Jax, that is, we're not picking fights with them. Wow, thank you, Jackson, for trying to attack me. So here we have our balloon man who is lame, which again does not mean he's looking at vacation pictures on a Friday night, but it just means the fact that he's old and has like busted up legs, probably has like a cane, he's walking along and trying to sell balloons to children because that's how he makes money. How does he, stop attacking the poor man. How does he get the kids' attention to come to him?
He has a cane. He's lame.
How about use the poem? The answer's in the poem.
He uses language.
No, I'm down, Omar.
The whistling.
And dances.
He can't. He's got one leg. Don't squeak at me. Yeah, completely. They're taunting him because they're horrible.
He whistles.
There you go. The whistling, and that's how he attracts them as he goes by. He does like a little whistly thing, and that brings all the kids running to him. Tomorrow, we're going to pick up with the blue children, and we're going to find out how this poem connects to all the kids at home. And we're going to find out how much I get to make fun of those kids too. And we're going to find out which of you kids are lame, and we're going to go from there. Because I'm going to beat you. Wait, no, I'm recording this. I would never beat a kid. Beating children is wrong, and I can't hear you. We're going through a tunnel. We're breaking up right now. I don't know what's going.